Hello, hello, hello. Oh man, good morning. It's Dirty Trucking. It is 5:01 a.m. I just got done with all I'm going to do today. Update with the bank situation. I contacted the bank yesterday morning, and they gave me some cockamamie story that I don't believe. And she gets on the phone, and this was a Caucasian woman, and for the life of me, she sounds like almost the same woman that I talked to when I was filing my dispute with Huntington Bank a long time ago, when this stuff first started, when Hertz had went back over into the account and took money out. She sounds like the same woman. I also found out, talking with customer service the other day, that these customer service reps services several banks. It's not just this particular bank that I'm calling about. So these individuals have access to people's accounts. So here's the little cockamamie story that this woman tells me. She said that the card provider of my debit card experienced an outage, which caused a glitch, which caused the double charge. And they haven't released the money yet. That's what she told me. Release the money. According to my transaction list, it shows the money went to DTE. What would they be releasing? See, when they start talking about releasing money, it seems like they're talking about something else. And they've been using my bank account to do these games. So what they have caused, and they did it deliberately, I don't know if the payment for Hertz rental car came back in, because it fell off. That's how I ended up with the money to pay the rent. So that payment is going to get sent back in. So I had to have the money to cover that payment when it comes back in. I had part of it with the 134 when I put my money in the account. And I would have had all of it. I have all of it, except for them not returning my money. And what that has caused, I didn't get my alert yesterday to extend the rental. So that alerts me that there's a problem that I'm going to have to deal with Hertz. They're trying to deliberately cause me to not to have this car. When they did that, I don't know if Hertz sent their payment back in. Because when it falls off, they got to send it back in. I don't know if these motherfuckers checking my account thinking I'm lying and stealing money. I don't know what the fuck you doing. But what you doing is fucking up. So I didn't get the alert to extend my rental. So, and more than likely, it may be because of this. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday, which due for another payment. And if I don't get that alert by today, they normally comes on Wednesday. If I don't get that alert, this shit has caused a problem. And that bank, that new bank, did it. And they did the shit deliberately. I don't believe that cockamamie story. And I told that customer service rep, I don't believe your story. I did a transaction to DTE last Friday, the day I picked up my debit card. She tells me when everything posted on Monday, she told me it was some sort of glitch. Okay, if there was a glitch, why didn't it affect the other 3 transactions I did? I made a payment to Hertz. I got gas for $31, and I paid DTE. She's telling me that there was some sort of glitch. Why didn't the glitch get any of the other transactions? Like the rent on Monday or any of the other transactions. I had to change banks to prove that they were doing this. Because Huntington Bank was doing the exact same thing, has done the exact same thing. That's why the account is over there overdrawn. Because they lied and said that they gave me a provision for a disputed transaction that I didn't dispute. That shit just popped up out of nowhere. That provision wasn't on there. It popped up out of nowhere. And I had to change banks to catch them. So I'm sitting up here saying, I don't believe it was Hertz because the transaction this time was DTE. I'm not so sure about that. I don't think the transaction has to be Hertz because they were getting Apple Pay out of my account, dealing with my card being given to Hertz. And when she said a glitch, where have I heard that before? Scroll back to my videos back in 23, around November, when I got this. I had the red Toyota, and I got locked out on Thanksgiving Eve. And then after we got it straightened out, Hertz, it went back in my account and took out so much money, it was like $500 something. And you remember what I told you they told me? It was a shitload of drivers coming up in there. Hertz took all that money out of the account. It wasn't just me. I mean, they took a lot of money from people. There was a lot of people in that when I came up to that location talking about it was money being taken out of the account. Money got taken out of the account. You know what they told me? They said it was a glitch. And they was working on it to get your money back. Don't that sound like this shit that just happened at the bank? The bank telling me this is a glitch. She told me my money she'd get it released into the account today. But instead of doing that, she wants to pass my phone number along to a supervisor. They always thinking I'm supposed to be having to have a conversation with a supervisor. And they always talking about the individual I need to talk to is in a meeting. The bank did that. When I walked in the branch, they asked them about giving me my provision so you can get this account back to current because of what this bank did. She said, it's a process here. We have to get that approved. You didn't get my approval to take the money out of my goddamn account. So she said the guy at the bank who's supposed to do that was in a meeting. This state is doing that Warren truck plant shit. The whole state has been doing it. This bank is lying. And if they don't return my money, I'm going to report them to the FTC. And then I'm going to give a detailed report to the state attorney general. I just wanted to see if it happened at this bank. And it did. And this time I was able to prove that it popped up in my account. And that DTE don't have the payment. So she's telling me the card provider, the card servicer, and that's the story I heard from Huntington Bank. They said the same thing. It's their card servicer. I forgot what the name is. Their debit card servicer. I kept hearing them. They kept saying that about them damn transactions. Now this bank is saying the same thing. So I started thinking about it. Okay, you got a debit card, which is plastic. But there's a card servicer for that debit card who has access to your transactions. Your transactions go between once you swipe that card, your card servicer processes that transaction. Takes it out your bank. It comes out the bank. That card servicer has access to your account. So it puzzled me when she told me the card servicer hadn't released the money. Wait a minute. What would they have to release? The transaction on my list is a double payment to DTE. So that means DTE should have that other payment. But I called DTE. They verified it's only one payment. And then I had somebody from DTE call me out the blue. I don't even know who this woman was or why she called me, telling me she was looking at past accounts to see if the money went there. Why would you be looking at past accounts? Past accounts is old account numbers. And I stayed at Alden Towers. DTE was not the service provider for Alden Towers. So why would you think my money went elsewhere? But she said she was checking. Okay, she was just checking. So I don't know who at DTE made her call me, because I spoke to two representatives of the DTE, and they have both confirmed that they only show one payment processed on their end for my rental, my payment agreement. You remember a couple of days ago, I told you I stopped at the gas station on Gratiot and 15. Gratiot and 696 rather, to go to the bathroom. When I came back, my what do you call this shit on this car? Android Auto. This here. And as you can see, I got it back working. My Android Auto wasn't working. The phone wouldn't connect. And I told you something was wrong with the phone cord. Something's wrong with the cord. So they made it seem like all I did was went in and went to the bathroom. Now, I was in there a little minute, but I was in the bathroom when all this took place. Now, either somebody came to this car or they doing it remotely from the dealership. So, I wanted to verify the cord. I said, this cord is new. I haven't done anything for this cord to be damaged. So, I couldn't get the car to connect to the Auto Android. Well, I didn't finish the process of trying to connect it. It wouldn't connect. Then all of a sudden, it just wouldn't connect. It wasn't, by the time I went to the bank the next day, when that money came out of my account. The money came out of my account, I believe it was the very next day, after this Auto Android wouldn't connect to the car. And you know what I discovered? The phone cord. My phone stayed charged. It went from 20 to 37. And it stayed on 37 the whole time I was out there. I said, this phone cord can't be going bad. What the fuck going on? So I took it in the house. Plugged it up in there. It worked fine in the house. That's why I put it in my video. How come the cord worked fine plugged up in the house? And it's been working fine ever since. That's weird. Then, I'm still trying to get Auto Android to connect. I made that little short video when I was at the bank. I was in the bank lot when I was making a video of me unplugging the cord from the phone, and that message was popping up on the screen. But I couldn't get the auto connect to recognize the phone had the cord in it. So I went to the phone, my settings, connections, found Android, Auto Android, Android Auto. Clicked on it. What do I see? I see connection accepted with the name of the car. Because they got to, you know, they named the connection something, and you got to connect to it when it pops up on your device. It said connection accepted. But I was puzzled to see rejected connections. The same name of the car and 2 rejections on there. How's that possible? Did somebody else try to log into the car? I told you, the same model cars keep coming around me. Did somebody try to auto connect to the car and it was rejected twice? But that's what I saw when in my settings on Android Auto on my phone. It was showing that it was connected to the car. But the car was saying it's not. Wasn't recognized. The phone cord was in the phone. But I was puzzled to also see 2 rejected connections to this car. This was the day, I believe this happened the day before that money came out my account. I believe it was the day the money did come out the account. I just didn't know it yet because I didn't log into my account. I believe that happened the day the double transaction. No, wait a minute. Nope. Because the double transaction popped up Monday. Popped up Monday. So I'd had to review the videos to see when I made that video about the phone to auto connect. Now, if that was on Monday, if that video, it was on Monday, then that's what they did. So I tried to recreate a situation to see if I can make that rejection come up on this list again. And I reset the dash computer. I reset the auto Android. So I said, I wonder if me resetting it would make it reject the connection. That didn't reject the connection. I go in my settings. I'm on Android Auto. Well, that didn't do it. What possibly could have been done to where I have 2 rejected connections for Android Auto connected to this car? And then all of a sudden I had a double payment come out my account. And I also had another strange incident. I had 2 young men in this car. I don't know if it was over the weekend. It was fairly recent. Just a few days back. Their trip was on there. I think their trip was $6.92. I think that was how much I got off that trip. $6.92, I believe. Because I kept looking. I wanted to remember them. Because there was something strange happened when they got out the car. I'm pulling up to where their destination is, the house, whatever, they're getting ready to get out. So they now arrived. And they all of a sudden said, the guy, the one that sitting behind me said, you can stop right here. Like he was simultaneously doing something back there. So as I swiped him out, he swiped on his phone and tried to cancel the ride. But you can't do that once it's completed. The app recognizes you're at the location where they're getting out at. He must have didn't know that. Or was he doing something? Because I believe that these individuals that has been doing this shit has been getting in this car. I've been picking them up, and their phone number and their phones, I think it's somehow their connection to me with this through the app. But that was strange. They were back there laughing. He kept laughing. He said, you can stop right here. Like he was timing something. And then I swiped him out. Told him, y'all have a good evening. Y'all have a good night. And next door, I went to pull off. And then I seen cancel ride. You can't cancel a ride once it's completed. But that popped up there. And I was wondering why. It said cancel ride. How could he cancel the ride once it's completed? And that little shit there makes me think this is how they got into the phone and got that shit in the phone. You got some deceitful, dirty ass shit going on here. This bank is lying. That customer service rep is lying. They took my money. They caused me to have problems with this rental car. They took my money hoping that I wouldn't get the money, enough money to get it in the bank so the rent would be paid. Rent would be covered. Because she told me when they processes everything, she told me they processes the smallest to the largest first. What? Why don't you process when they come in order? She said we process from the smallest to the largest. So she said that's why the double payment got processed and not the rent. And so I had to hit her with my story. I said, that's unbelievable because I don't believe that. I made one transaction on Friday to pay DTE and it has been pending all the way up until that Monday. I log on Monday and see everything is posted. I had the money in the bank to pay the rent. I paid the rent. I had $22 left, which is actually reflected after it posted. It shows I had $22 left, which means I wasn't lying. So, I did 2 transactions after I had $22. That was $12 in gas and $4 or something for snacks at the same gas station. So, my rent is pending on Monday. It's pending. It's pending. Where did the double post come from? It was posted. If there's another charge with the card, they said my card, it was charged to the card. It should be something pending for it to post. But when it posted, the bank got it looking like it posted on the same day at the same time. It didn't. Everything posted Monday. But that transaction was done later. What? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 days later. Monday, that Friday was the 11th. 12th, 13th, 14th. So you mean tell me I did a transaction on Friday for the 134. And then on Monday when it posted with just one transaction. Because of that other, because that's how I caught them. They've been caught. And there's no way out this bullshit right here. There's no way. There's nothing they can say. Nothing. There's no way out of it. They've been caught doing it. They've been caught. The transaction posted on Monday. Because I told the bank, I said, if there was a double payment made by me, then DTE should have 2 payments. And I would be speaking to DTE to send the money back. But when DTE verified several times that they only have 1 payment, DTE is out. The bank thought I hit the button twice. No, the bank is doing that mind shit acting like they know what I'm doing on my phone at all times. Sitting in my home, in my apartment, seeing me hit the button. I said, well, whether I hit the button twice or not, if that was the case, if I hit the button twice, then DTE would have a second payment of $134. That sounds about right. If that theory was correct, what she said, but that ain't what happened. I made one payment, and it posted. Another thing, the customer service rep, when I called them Friday before I went to go, before I paid that rent, I was inquiring about the Hertz rental car transaction that fell off. And I asked them, was there any way they could see it? She said, yes, it's on the debit card side. It's on the debit card side. I spoke to 2 representatives that day. And all of a sudden, I got a double charge on my account. On the debit card side. What's going on the debit card? What's going on the side of the debit card provider? What are you doing? Where's the money at? That's what I want to know. Where's the fucking money at? DTE don't have it. It's not in my account, but you processed it to come out of my account to leave me in the negative, knowing I just paid my rent. If that double payment had been on my account, I wouldn't have been able to pay the rent. That's how they got caught doing it. They can't lie. You can't lie. You can't lie. You can't say the rent came in after that. No. That's the order in which you processed it. The rent was done first before that popped up on my account. Where's the money at? Where's the money at? What is it the card provider has to release? Because according to the transaction, DTE is supposed to have another $134.02. Where's the money at? Why is that money not in my account? You've caused a problem here with me renting this car. I didn't get the message that the car is going to be extended. And if I don't get that message tomorrow, I'm going to call Hertz to find out what's wrong. Which I already know what it is. It's this shit here. That's why they did it. They were causing me to lose the car. And they were causing me to... that payment I put in for the rent, they got me in the negative before it posted. Everybody doing shit to try to get money out my ass. Stealing from me. Now even the new bank. I don't believe none of that shit. They've been lying about this shit. These banks, both, have been lying.